Hello. Okay, we're gonna see how far we can go with this method of quadratics. What we've learned so far. Let's look at kind of an involved example here. This one kind of brings together several of our techniques or skills that we've developed over the course. So it gives you a little practice with that. Okay, so we're going to solve this. Now, this looks like a rational equation that we've seen back in, I don't know, where was that, chapter 7? Yeah, wow, it's a long time ago. And we know that our method was to, we're going to try to get rid of these fractions. So we notice, oh, there's an LCD. What is it? Well, hopefully you recognize that it's this. So you're going to take that and you're going to multiply everything. Each one of the terms, let's see, each one of the terms here. Notice where I put that minus, I just stuck in the front there. And another x minus 1 times the 5 or the x with the x minus 1. Okay, so the whole point of that was to make some cancellations happen. Here we got this and this gone. Here we got the x and this x gone. Here we got this and this gone. Remember, there was a 1 underneath all of those when we did that. Okay. All right, so now let's take inventory on the next step. Over here, we still have an x times a 2x. That's 2x squared. Here we have a minus, and then we have this thing here, which is, well, it's not simple, but we can deal with it. And then over here, we've got just that 5. Okay, that's a times there. It's not minus. Okay, so it looks like we've got to expand this out. We're heading for a quadratic. You can see that. So you got the squared term here. You're going to get some more in here. So be careful with this minus. I'm going to leave it out in front for right now and just multiply this thing out. So I'm going to have an x squared. Putting together 7 minus 1 is a 6 minus a 7, and then equals, I'm going to minus that 5. Minus 5. Okay, put it over here. Get it on this side. 2x squared minus x squared minus 6x plus 7 minus 5 is 0. We're almost there. We got an x squared minus 6x plus a 2. Okay. All right, so now you're ready to, you can't factor it. I wish we could, but you can't. Cannot factor it, so we will use our quadratic formula. So we identify our b, well, a is 1, b is -6, and c is a 2. So x is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over the 2a, which is a, start in here. B was a -6, so it's positive 6. And we got a 36 minus a 4 times 1 times 2 over 2 times 2. Oh, oops, 2 times 1, sorry. 2 times 1. All right, let's come over here. That is equal to 6 plus or minus. Let's see, what do we have in here? 36 minus 8, which is what? 28 over 2. We can bring that down. That 28 is 4, 7, right? And that's a 2. So it's 6 plus or minus 2 root 7 over the 2, which finally gives us, notice that 2 can be divided into both terms. Otherwise, you can't cancel it. It will divide into both because this is really 6 over 2. I don't want you to forget that. It divides out in both of these. So we get a 3 plus or minus root 2. Whoops, that's a 7 under there, sorry. kind of sloppy there. Let's fix that. Maybe it's the old peepers that aren't working right. That's a 7, and this is a 7 over here. So let me fix that. Okay, so we're back in shape now. Okay. Okay, let's see. So it worked out okay, and we got our solutions there. Now, of course, how do you know this is correct? Well, you can double check your work carefully. If you come back in here, and double check everything. Or you can actually take your two numbers. We have two solutions here, and you can check them. And that's something we haven't done. I really don't want to. I mean, this will be some work in here. I don't want to check them. I'd rather just double check my work here and make sure that I did it carefully. It looks okay. I mean, I don't see any big, any obvious mistakes here. 7 minus, yeah, okay. I'm just thinking here, square 2, yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, it looks okay. So we'll say that is fine, and we'll move on now. Okay, here's our next problem, and we are going to first of all, it looks messy, it looks complicated, it looks a lot different from what we saw before, but it does have, in a vague way, the same quadratic form. In other words, it does kind of resemble this. If I just sort of think of that x plus 4 as a u. So if it has that form, we could just momentarily just let the u physically be equal to the x plus 4. In other words, I'm just going to swap it out. Okay, swap out. So I would have this. Now this is an equation. Could be solved in a number of ways. We now have 3 methods. This is factorable. I would do this. It's like that. Okay. That gives me the factorization. Then I would say, well, u minus 3 is a 0. U plus 2 is a 0. So u is a 3 and u is a negative 2. Now, well, that solves it for u, but I don't want u. I want x. So I bring my x plus 4 back in here. X plus 4 is a 3, and x plus 4 is a negative 2. That gives me the x that I need. I'll get a negative 1, and I'll get a negative 6. Those are my final answers now. Okay, so we can, go a long way if we recognize what we have in front of us. Okay. Now let's do another one over here. Let's do this one. We're going to solve this problem here. X to the 4th minus 5x squared minus 36 equals 0. Okay. Now, what we notice about this is, again, it kind of has that form. In other words, if I just kind of imagined that x squared was equal to u, then I would have, this is u squared minus 5u minus 36. Well, some people might say u is equal to x squared. Whatever, it's the same thing. So I have this form, this quadratic form. And that means if I can solve this for u, then eventually I can get to the x, because u equals x squared. So you just take, this one's factorable again, so we got lucky on this one. U was a minus 9, right? And then u plus a 4. So u equals 9, u equals negative 4. Now that means, now remember, u is equal to x squared, so I have x squared equals 9, and x squared equals negative 4. Well, this one, we can use our square root property. We see x is plus or minus 3. This one, again, using the square root property, you got this, plus or minus square root of negative 4. So got to be careful, make sure you know that's a 2i. Okay, so in other words, here I did this. So I got my 4 answers. No. Okay, sometimes they put them in a set like this. So just put a negative 3, 3, and then negative 2i and a plus 2i. Sometimes I'll write them like that.